Hey guys, this is Corey. What I just want to share with you guys today is, I guess, my 3D sculpting experience. Um, it's something I wanted to do for a while, and it's been mostly out of reach because it requires a lot of discipline in the arts and things like that. And I think I've got to an okay place right now. It's not good, I would say, but something I would like to share with you guys. So anyway, 3D sculpting, what it basically is you can see I have a model here, and with my pen, I can write on the tablet with the pen, and I can draw things on it like my name. Okay, and so we can do stuff like that. In terms of this model here, we can start adding or subtracting detail. I don't know where I take detail from, and we can kind of smooth it out and blend it with the rest of the model and things like that. So things like that. So it's a really cool way of creating something virtually, and then you can get very complex looking things like if you went to go see a Pixar movie and saw something like that, it'd be really you'd be like, wow, that's in 3D, that's crazy. So you have really talented people doing things like that, and something like zBrush here, probably in zBrush because there's not too many applications that do what zBrush does. But yeah, it's something I wanted to do, but I don't have the artistic ability like someone at Pixar would have. Like they're naturally talented. Like I think like when I was a kid, like there's always that one kid just doodling on his paper, and he's the dude that's probably working at Pixar right now because he has the natural talent and the discipline to do that like every day and enjoy doing it, and they can do it effortlessly, right? That's not me. When I was a kid, I was playing video games every day, so like I can turn the PlayStation on. That's pretty much all I can do. But I still look at this stuff and I admire it, and so from time to time, like every like odd month, I'll come into here and I'll try to do something. And anyway, this is like probably like the fifth attempt. It's actually not a lot of attempts, but it's long enough that I'd like to share it with you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Now, before I get into anything else, I just want to forewarn. I'm just showing the foot right now, but obviously the rest of the body is naked. So if you are easily offended by the human form, if you're offended by boobs or naked ladies or something like that, please close the video down. I apologize for offending you, but if you do find that offensive, I would say to please close the video because I don't want you to be alarmed or disgusted or anything by this. Okay, I don't think I did anything disgusted. It's just me practicing human form, but some people will perceive things differently, and I don't want somebody to be angry or upset. Okay, so to carry on, I'm going to start showing you what I've done. So okay, here we go. So what I did is I watched a movie about a month ago, and it was actually Suicide Squad, and there's a Batman character in there called, her name is Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn is actually portrayed by an actress named Margot Robbie, and so what I wanted to do was make a Margot Robbie version of Harley Quinn. So I'm gonna make, I'm gonna use Margot Robbie's look from the movie, and I'm gonna try and model it after that. So I've downloaded a bunch of pictures from the movie and stuff like that, things from the movie exhibit. I'm going to be using those as photo references to try and model things. Now, I don't really want to get too technical on making things exact. I just want to use these as a rough reference. So, for example, what I first did here is I brought in a 3ds Max, and I got a photo that kind of showed what's her name again? Margaret's overall proportions, so I could kind of see, okay, so like where's her neck in relation to her like her hip, to her like her toes or something like that. And I just really roughly drew in a very basic model like this. I put like no effort into this. Like that doesn't even look like a foot, right? It looks like I don't know, it looks like a little van or car or something. But yeah, I took very basic primitives. Like this, for example, is like a cylinder, and I just put a taper on it to kind of make it look more like a thigh. So I came up with that just based on the proportions where the joints would be. and I use that as a starting point. So that's where I got right now. Well, just from that foot was that. That's where that foot came from that low poly, that basic primitive. Okay, now in ZBrush, if we make a change, we can undo it, and we can kind of go back and forth on the slider, and that allows us to give us like a timeline view of what has been done to the model. There's a feature here that will let you save that, but when I did that, it crashed. So that sucked. I do have a small clip that I saved with the Shadow Play, which is a different app. So I can show that to you right now, but it's a very short clip. I'll bring it up here. I'm not going to play it here. I'll just pause it. I'll just go to key areas. So here we got the primitive that I got or made in 3ds Max, and I start to sculpt on details. And I don't, like, again, I don't have discipline with anatomy or anything like that, so I'm just going off things that I know, and then later on, if it's something that's important, let's say for something like, whoa, what's going on? Like, is there supposed to be a muscle here? And then I'll pick up on it, and I'll know more about it. But I just kind of worked on what I do know, like things like the kneecaps, the thighs, the hips, stomach, rib cage, breasts, clavicle, neck, shoulders, muscles, all that kind of things. Things that I knew about, I started to shape them in. And it looks really rough right now, but I'm using a brush called the clay brush, and it leaves these like scratch marks. So eventually, you're going to smooth the model out. So I'm still kind of roughing things in. You can actually see, I wasn't happy with the breasts, so I actually wiped those off. Took it back down to a bare rib cage, and I try to rough those back in, things like that. Then yeah, I get to the point where I start to smooth the model out. So that's basically where I continued on from here, and I did more of the foot. So that's kind of missing in between, but I'll show you where I am right now. This is the entire leg. For the most part, I'm really satisfied with it. Of course, I want to add more detail, like toenails and stuff like that. A little bit of proportions need to be corrected, but other than that, I'm generally happy about that. The butt is kind of so-so. The pelvis and the torso, generally the torso needs some more work, I guess. But I don't think you'll be seeing much of her torso once I put the clothing on. So that'll be okay, actually. Now, the only areas that need attention, I guess, are like the hands and the head. The hands, I actually have a old hand model. I'll be using this. I think I'll just merge that on to my other model. This was actually a hand model that I modeled after my own hand about like 6 months ago for a different project. And that took me a long time because I wanted to get the nails and details in such a way. So this is where I got with it. Excuse me. So what I really need to put attention to is actually just the face, and then I'll fix everything up later, I guess. So hopefully you'll see another progression video on that topic later on. But yeah, I've never successfully created a face model in ZBrush. I've done face models in 3ds Max, but they didn't look that great. Not at all. So I'm interested in seeing how this is going to progress. So I just roughed in, the head and the brows and stuff like that, and the sockets and the mouth opening. So it's ready to be aligned to Margot Robbie's proportions, and I'm going to start to sculpt in the actual detail. So, oh wow, hopefully that works out good, because I'm not very well versed on that. Because, like I said, I can use my own body parts as reference, because I can look at my hand and study that and start to model that. It's kind of difficult for me to look at my own face while I'm drawing something. So a lot of the art books say that you should go to like live sessions. So for example, I'll have like a nude model come in, and then you just sketch them or something like that. So I really don't have that ability. I've been trying just to look at photo references, but that's obviously not quite the same thing, I guess. But eventually I'll get it right, and I'm going to probably start this on Saturday, so hopefully it turns out okay. So I'm hoping for that. Anyway, till then, guys, You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching my video, and peace out. Later.